What's up, Tradman listeners? Just wanted to check in with you guys every once in a while, and I figured what I would do is at the end of every liturgical season, I would check in with you guys, and we would find out how the breviary is going. If you will remember, and if you ever go back and watch my unboxing video, I bought the Roman Breviary Baronius Press edition, and I do pray 3 of the canonical hours every day. I pray Lauds, Vespers, and Compline. When I was praying the Little Office of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which is a version of the Roman Breviary, I was praying also Matins. But I'll get into why I have not continued that in Advent. So we'll check in on all that, because today is December the 24th. I have just prayed Lauds for December 24th. So technically I am done in the breviary anyway with Advent. Tonight at about 6 o'clock, I will pray Vespers for Christmas Day. So that'll be Vespers 1 for Christmas Day. So that'll officially be in the Christmas liturgical season. So I just thought I'd let you guys know how it's going, like what I have learned and what I'm doing differently and what I'm getting out of this, and give you all some feedback. I thought that might be kind of interesting. So you'll notice that I got the hat on. It's a crisp 20 degrees outside here in Houston, Texas. And we're keeping it somewhat warm inside, but we don't want to keep it too hot. So it's still kind of comfortable to keep a head covering on. So first thoughts, I'm through our first liturgical season here. And I have to say that this has been a very fruitful thing so far. It did take some figuring out, and a lot of mistakes were made, particularly when I first started praying in the book. And so what I would do is I would go on to divinumofficium.com, and I would sort of use that as like a follow along, make sure that I'm praying the right Psalms. And if my Psalm in the book looks different than the one on divinumofficium.com, find out why, right? And that takes a little time of flipping through the book. And so, the first couple of, I'd say weeks were a little clumsy, okay, a little clunky, making my way through the office. Matins is a whole thing in the Roman Breviary. See, I've never really prayed Matins that much before. There's Matins in this little office of the Blessed Virgin Mary that I've shown you guys before, this one right here. But it's very short. It all flows one to the next, and it's pretty easy to figure out. The Roman Breviary, the full Matins, is a little bit, I'm just not used to it. I've never done it. And it was ending up, by the time I would like flip through the book and figure out I was on the wrong thing and go back to the thing, it was taking like all morning, and I had to go to work. So for the time being, I have put Matins on hold. I'm just doing Lauds, Vespers, and Compline. And that's plenty. If you're hardcore and you can do Matins also, hey, good on you. But that was not my experience. Also, this little book here is so great. I don't think I really got into this in the unboxing because I didn't want to sit here and read page for page through the unboxing, but like Summorum Pontificum, the entire motu proprio is included in the book in both Latin and English. You got the whole Latin text of Summorum Pontificum right here in the book. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and read it in Latin, but it's just an interesting thing about the church that all her official documents, the official version of her documents is always the Latin version. Anyway, that I think that's pretty cool. But no, there's other things. So as you make your way through the Psalter, for example, I'm just opened up a page to Friday at Vespers, and let's say you're going to pray Psalm 131. Right before you begin the psalm, there's a little meditation. Psalm 139, in crisis, prayer against evil thoughts. This psalm can be put on the lips of the suffering Savior. It should also be prayed against the devil's temptations. Lead us not into temptation. And then it starts the psalm. And then halfway through the psalm, the second strophe, repetition. Third strophe, a plea for protection. There's little meditations and lessons in here. And even before that, if you go through the ordinary, okay, you'll see that, hang on one second here. If you go through the ordinary, there's little lessons about, what the different offices are and where they come from and everything. And like concerning the inventory, the rubrics are actually spelled out in red, so they're pretty easy to read, but they're little like lessons. I wish I could find an example of one of them of what I'm talking about, but I can't right now. I never can right when I need it. But anyway, Advent is the beginning of the liturgical new year, so it is simultaneously a great time to jump into the breviary. Simultaneously, it's also a little bit of a rigmarole because Advent has, I think, more moving parts than any other liturgical season in the calendar. There are, the Advent has its own ordinary, right? So there's the ordinary for each of the hours, and then there's the ordinary for Advent, has its own ordinary in here. So it's a little bit different. And then the antiphons, there's a list of antiphons that you'll say through Advent up to December 17th. And then after December 17th, each day has its own proper antiphons. And then you get up to December 23rd, and there's a lot of moving parts. So it's very, it takes some getting used to. And it if you've never prayed it before, especially Advent, might feel a little clunky. Get into Christmas and, all the other seasons, I think you'll find it a little bit easier. At least it looks to me like it's going to be a little bit easier. But I have gotten a lot of fruit out of this. This has been a great way to start my morning and punctuate my day. Each office, once you get the hang of how to flip through this book, each of the offices that I've been doing, so that's Louds, Vespers, and Compline, take about 10 to 15 minutes tops. That's been my experience. One of the reasons that I've cut out Matins is Matins takes a little bit longer. I think even praying it just smoothly, you're looking at a good 45 minutes to an hour. So be prepared for that. The other thing is Matins and Louds can be prayed separately in the Roman Breviary. So maybe if you want to make Matins more of a thing you spread out throughout the day, I don't know. My time is a little bit limited. I'm a layperson, have a layperson job. So by about 8 o'clock in the morning, I need to be all prayed up and get rocking and rolling at work. So that's why I've cut out Matins. I may go back to it, and I may, Matins may be on the menu pretty soon. If we get into a liturgical season, I think where things are a little bit more consistent through here, I will give Matins a try again. But my honest and sincere reflection here is that this slows you down in life. It's like the rosary. Rosary is one of those things you got to make time for. And in order to do that, you have to put some things on hold. You got to slow down. You want to go to a place where you can really just sort of be with Our Lady and pray her rosary. And this is kind of like that. So, it forces you to come up with a routine. Early in the morning, I'll get up, make myself a cup of coffee. I have some church incense that makes my house smell like a Catholic church that I like. I'll put a little bit of that on, put some Gregorian chant, if I can find some that's proper to the season, sort of on in the background. And I will spend the first hour of my morning praying with the church. And it's really a beautiful thing. And on those days when you can get up early, maybe get some physical exercise in, get the hour in, get your rosary in, man, you're going to be sharp. You're going to be on point, man. You're sharp as a tack, mind, body, spirit. And yeah, what a great way to start the day. And I also enjoy how in Vespers, there's that break. There's that break around what? I'll pray Vespers anytime between 3 in the afternoon and 6 in the afternoon, maybe even 6:30, right? So it's an evening type prayer. And so I like to punctuate it in the day, sort of at the end of the work day. And then, of course, we have night prayers right before you go to bed. The great thing about night prayers is that in the Roman Breviary part, and this was also true in the monastic diurnal, part of night prayers was an examination of conscience. So you're supposed to spend a good 5 to 10 minutes thinking about your day, how you behaved in all the different circumstances throughout the day. Did you glorify God? Did you commit any sins? Did you commit any imperfections? What were some areas you can work on? What are some things you're going to try and do better tomorrow? What a great way to end the day. Just a short examination of conscience and then a confiteor and an absolution. Now, obviously, I'm praying the office by myself. I'm not in the presence of a priest, so this absolution is not sacramental in any sense. So it's just called the absolution in the liturgy itself. But if you were praying you're praying in community with a priest leading, and the priest grants the absolution, it would be like it was at Holy Mass. It would absolve venial sins. It would not absolve mortal sins. You would need to go to confession for that, obviously. So that is my take on season 1. Okay, we're going to go through Christmas season, which is also a very, very short season. I think it's the only season shorter than Advent. And I'll check in with you guys, at the end of the Christmas season, let you know what the Christmas season was like in the breviary and what's changed. And I figured we'd just do this every once in a while, check in with me, how it's going with the breviary, and see if, what my recommendations or my takeaways are. I have ordered a breviary cover, and when it comes in, I'm going to do an unboxing video for that, because I ordered a custom missal cover, breviary cover, and I'm going to go through all that when it gets here, and I'll give you the details, and we'll do the whole unboxing and everything here, as well as how to get one for yourself. Other than that, that's all I got. Short little video, and I hope everybody is getting ready for the birth of the Lord. Hope you are all having a wonderful, I know I don't like this term holiday seasons somewhat, but I really do hope you're all having a blessed Advent. And as we go into the Christmas season, a very Merry Christmas. Thanks all for tuning in. We'll check in with you all again at the end of Christmas. Thank you very much. God bless. And remember, life is harder, but it's harder when you don't pray the rosary. Thanks.